A very good evening. From stories around the world to stories here at home, this is the National News Broadcast. I'm Vidushni Satish Kumar.
Good evening. I am Lakshita Dirasinghe. Let's start off by taking a quick look at the headlines.
The President reiterates that when fulfilling the pledges given to the people, the nature or the extent of the challenges is irrelevant. Patient treatment services in hospitals and parallel institutions as well as supply of electricity have been declared as essential services. Farmers say that they are not incurring losses as the guaranteed price of paddy has been increased.
We start off with the top story for tonight. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa says that the nature of the challenges or its extent is irrelevant in making a reality of the pledges given to the people. He has made these remarks participating in the preliminary discussion in the series of seminars with professionals in numerous sectors. The professionals said on this occasion that the confidence placed upon the president will remain intact and further assistance will be extended to him. The meeting was conducted at the Presidential Secretariat last afternoon. The President has pointed out that relevant measures are being taken to control the COVID pandemic, but at the same time, development programs are being carried forward continuously. He further said that the economy that was subject to a collapse as a result of the lockdown imposed on the country for a period of nearly 2 years is regaining methodically. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa said that as a leader, it is necessary to sort out the challenges which should be given priority and take action. He further said that they were able to bring the third vaccine and inoculate the masses. As a result, they were able to reopen the country once again. The outcome has been the influx of tourists to the country. The economy is reawakening once again. The President added that they do not forget the enormous tasks they had undertaken in the past 2 years. The professionals have reiterated that they will extend the strength anticipated by the President for the victory of the national program, expressing their further commitment for the success of the endeavors. Majority of the masses are having a positive attitude towards the program of the President. However, certain groups motivated by petty political ambitions are spreading misconceptions. The professionals group has strongly rejected their false propaganda. They have also pointed out that Sri Lanka is moving forward gradually at a time when the entire world is enmeshed in a severe economic crisis. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa said that according to the Minister of Agriculture, the country must turn to the application of organic fertilizer. He added that some persons have found fault in their program, saying that application of organic fertilizer should have been carried out on an installment basis. The President said that this was not practically possible. He added that when implementing the program on a stage-by-stage basis, it is difficult to encourage every farmer. Farmers get confused when one of them uses chemical fertilizer and another does not use this type of manure. The government has looked into the shortcomings of the solution. The farmers has to enlighten on the situation. Some media deliberately choose farmers who speak against the program and give them publicity. The intellectuals have also focused attention on the need to direct towards renewable power sources. They have further stated that they will unconditionally extend support to the government to remove any obstructions in this connection. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa said the Asian Development Bank has so far provided him 2 advisors. He also said that they, as a government, have understood that it is necessary to look into the difficulties in the implementation of the programs. In government institutions as well as in the camps of the 3 armed forces, a program has been implemented to utilize solar power. Many problems could have been avoided to a great extent if homes could generate power during daytime. Professionals representing numerous fields including educational policies, social sciences, agriculture, research, water and renewable sources of power, medicine, engineering and novel products have participated at the discussion. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa said the people in the country has elected him to make a change. He said that he has to encounter enormous challenges. We have to act as a team. He has called on professionals to realize on what is conducive for the country. There are local as well as foreign influencers. What is needed is to evaluate the policies and to work towards the victory of the appropriate policies. MPs, ministers and government officials were also present.
Well, on your other stories, The patient treatment services and electricity supply in hospitals and parallel institutions have made essential services. A relevant extraordinary gazette notification was released yesterday according to the powers vested upon President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. The order covers all services including hospitals, nursing homes, pharmacies and similar institutions, receptionists of patient treatment services, the institutions engaged in nurturing and the treatment of patients. The supply of electricity has also been made an essential service according to the second clause of number 61 of Essential Public Services Act of 1979 under the powers vested on the President. The Colombo District Court has also issued a restraining order against the strike. Attorney at Law Pratibha Mahanamaheva said that Sri Lanka does not have a patients' charter, which means there is no agreement regarding the patients. As a result, the patients are being subject to difficulties day by day. There is no opportunity for the patients to raise a voice regarding their rights at a time of a sudden work stoppage. Another problem has been the absence of any organization within the country to raise concern over the rights of patients. Therefore, he said that the consensus pertaining to patients is an urgent necessity. Despite the declaration of health service as an essential service, the health sector strike has continued today as well. As a result, the patients have been subjected to strenuous difficulties.
Former United National Party parliamentarian Saman Ratnapriya said at a media briefing this evening that the Government Nursing Officers Union will withdraw from the health sector strike. The Colombo District Court has imposed an injunction order against Ratnapriya to terminate the strike action. However, the remaining 17 trade unions engaged in the strike have not yet made any statement regarding ending the strike. Former UNP parliamentarian Saman Ratnapriya said the court injunction order has been delivered only to the Government Officers Union. He added that it is the Government Officers Union that should honour the court order and temporarily suspend their action. The remaining 17 trade unions continuously engage in the strike. He further said that after the withdrawal of the court order, they hope to continuously carry forward their struggle until the victory of the fulfillment of their demands.
Now on to Corona Local Update. Director of Health Services in the Colombo District, Specialist Physician Dr. Dilip Liyanage says 99% of patients who died due to affliction of the COVID-19 disease in the past week have not taken the second dose or the booster vaccine. It has also been reported that the total number of persons who have received the booster vaccine has exceeded 6 million, with the inoculation of this vaccine to 48,091 persons yesterday. The total number of persons who have been inoculated under the COVID immunization program is 36,887,180. Out of this number, 16,853,068 have been administered the first dose. The number of persons who have received both doses is 14,033,275. The booster vaccine has been delivered on 6,048,537. The Director General of Health Services has confirmed 23 COVID-19 related deaths which have occurred yesterday. 18 out of the fatalities were of the age of 60 years or above. The 4 of the victims were between the ages of 30 and 59 years. The remaining victim was below the age of 30 years.
Dr. Dilip Liyanage said that a clear growth in the number of corona-infected patients in the Colombo district has been witnessed. He has reiterated the importance to get vaccinated with the booster dose as soon as possible in order to control the increasing trend in the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic.
By now, we have seen increased numbers of COVID-infected patients within the Colombo district. On average, it is around 150 to 200 per day, plus the home quarantine is amount to around 350 to 500 per day. This number is showing us increased tendency, and this is a very bad sign. Why? The reason for this, when we analyze with the hospital admitted numbers, our hospital capacity has changed, drastically increasing. Now by today, we have occupied around 50% of our hospital capacity in Colombo district. When we analyze the reason for the hospital admission, we have observed more than 95% of these admitted patients who has not taken their third vaccine or booster dose. And among them, lot of people, those who have not taken their booster vaccine plus they are having some underlying disease. Therefore, this is high time those who have not taken their booster dose, please be good enough to get the opportunity, and at the very first instance please go to the nearest medical officer of health or the nearest hospital and get your vaccine. We are open for you 24/7. So, but early morning please go and get your vaccine. And the other most important thing, when it comes to Colombo district, now we have seen around 34% of the people have taken the booster dose. Therefore, this is your social responsibility to get your vaccine as soon as possible. And there is a dialogue going on in the society that we are going to give you expired vaccine. So that is a myth, and as a responsible government and as the Ministry of Health, we never take such things. So we are giving you the vaccines, the date of expiry is in next year, so therefore without any problem you can get this vaccine, and please get your immunity getting this vaccine by yourself and take this vaccine from the very first instance, and please do the social responsibility.
Now moving on to some Corona World news and starting things off with Germany's COVID-19 update. Germany's surge in coronavirus infections is reaching its peak. Chancellor Olaf Scholz said yesterday, signaling that the country can soon ease tough curbs as the wave begins to end. German Chancellor told the upper house of parliament that the scientific forecasts show that the high point of the wave is in sight and the government is looking forward to take the first steps at reopening the country. German Chancellor said that leaders would also be listening to the advice of scientists in order not to jeopardize success in the pandemic. More than 90 million people in the United States above the age of 12 have received a COVID-19 booster dose, but 50% of people, eligible persons above the age of 12, have not received the booster vaccine. South Korea's daily COVID-19 infections stayed above 50,000 for the second day in a row amid the fast spread of the highly transmissible Omicron variant across the nation. The Greater Seoul area accounted for 64.7%. China says it has given conditional approval for Pfizer's COVID-19 drug Paxlovid to treat adults with mild to moderate illness and for high-risk groups who are developing severe disease. The China's National Medical Products Administration said further research on the drug needed to be undertaken and submitted to the regulator. Health Ministry of Brazil has stated that over 166,000 new coronavirus cases and above 1,100 COVID-19 deaths in the last 24 hours. The Secretary General of World Health Organization has said the acute pace of the pandemic could end this year if about 70% of the world gets vaccinated.
On WHO's position on the pandemic, our expectation is that this pandemic, the acute phase of this pandemic will end this year. Of course, with one condition, meaning the 70% vaccination by mid this year, around June, July. So if that can be done, the acute phase can really end. And that's what we're expecting. It's in our hands. And that's why we were saying it's not a matter of chance, it's a matter of choice. So if the world wants to end it, it has the means to end it. If it wants to continue to be greedy and doesn't want to end it, then it will not end. That's the problem.
With that, we move on to a few more local stories where in today's special feature, Abhiyoga Medahadina Rata, produced by the Presidential Media Division, we focus attention on the Lower Malwatuoya Multipurpose Project. The Lower Malwatuoya Multipurpose Program being implemented under the Vari Saubhagya project had been planned in the year 1956. Presently, cultivations using the waters of Yodaveva and Akinimurukku Reservoir is being restricted to the Maha season. However, with the completion of the project, 32,000 acres of farmlands will be irrigated. In addition, a hydropower electricity generation station as well as water purification project to supply drinking water to the Mana, Vaunia and Anuradhapura districts will be established. The development process will be streamlined under a new town planning. A separate village will be set up to resettle those who would be affected by the development program. The project would pave the way for the systematic utilization of water in the Malwatu area as well as to make prosperous the farmlands in Mana, Vaunia and Anuradhapura districts, overcoming many challenges.
The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna Women's Federation meetings have been conducted at the electorate level with the participation of a large group of people today. All of the meetings have been organized according to the health guidelines. Minister Nama Rajapaksa has presided over the Beliata Women's Federation meeting today. A group including State Minister D.V. Janaka and parliamentarian Diana Gamage also took part in the event. Minister Nama Rajapaksa said that the present government gives priority to women. He added that if the character called mother or amma is happy, the entire country remains in happiness. The minister added that therefore the present government always acts to safeguard the mother character. State Minister Thenuka Vidana Gamage has presided over the Women's Federation meeting in the Mahayangana electorate at the Mahayangana Esplanade. A large crowd representing women of 77 divisions in the electorate have also attended the meeting. State Minister Indika Anuruddha and parliamentarians W.A. Veerasinghe were also present. The SLPP Madiragiri Women's Federation meeting was held at the common market premises in Diyasenpura. State Minister Siripala Gamlat and parliamentarian Amarakirti Atakurla have presided over the event, and large numbers of women's representatives in the Madiragiri electorate have also attended the event. Meanwhile, the Ratgama Electorate Women's Federation meeting of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna was conducted under the leadership of State Minister Mohan P. De Silva yesterday, and large numbers of women's representatives as well as parliamentarians were present on the occasion.
Farmers in the Batticaloa and Trincomalee districts have commenced reaping their harvest. They say that they have received a bountiful harvest and a good price for their produce. 67,414 hectares of land have come under paddy cultivation in the Maha season in the Batticaloa district. Harvesting has been completed in an extent of nearly 35,000 hectares. The area that has come under paddy cultivation in the Trincomalee district is 50,000 hectares. Regional Agrarian Services officials say that harvesting has been completed in an area of nearly 17,000 hectares. The farmers say that they will continue to engage in cultivations according to the organic fertilizer concept, despite the fact that organic farming is somewhat of a strenuous process. They add that they will engage in this practice in the interest of the entire population of the country. A higher paddy output through organic farming undertaken by the Department of Civil Defence has been reported from Vaunia. The district secretary says this was an exemplary model for the entire farmer community. Paddy has been cultivated in 124 acres of paddy lands in Rubbervetti in Vaunia without using any chemical. Only raw material inherent to the area and organic fertilizer produced by the Civil Defence Task Force have been utilized. However, no reduction in the harvest has been witnessed. The Civil Defence Department says in comparison to previous years, a higher harvest has been received. A successful paddy harvest from an extent of 40 acres of land in Minuangamo in Paragamman in Kegal through utilization of organic fertilizer has also been reported. The farmers say insect problems and controlling of weeds have become a minimum during this season. They also said that the decision taken by the President has enabled them to have a meal without poisons and to lead a healthy life. A farmer family maintaining a successful papaw cultivation using only compost fertilizer has been reported from the Madukanda in Vaunia. It has used only cow dung, poultry reseed and decaying leaves as sources of fertilizer. Farmers in Bisopura village in Madiragiri have commenced organic vegetable farming according to a new technology. Accordingly, farmers in the Mahaveli D zone in Polonnaruwa were engaged in a successful vegetable cultivation of beans, brinjals and bell chilies. The crops have been prepared in indoor greenhouses, watering through a droplet system technology. State Minister Siripala Gamlat and officials have inspected the progress in the cultivations. Harvesting in Nadunkarni Vaunia is also taking place these days. A bountiful harvest has been received from many areas, including Aryamadukulam and Nadunkarnikulam. It is a common scene these days of farmers drying up their harvested paddy along the Nadunkarni road. The barren lands of Vellamulivaikal during the final battles of the humanitarian operation are being converted into prosperous farmlands.
Now on to our weather forecast. The Department of Meteorology forecast of intermittent rainfall tomorrow in the provinces of Northern, North Central, Eastern and Uva, as well as in the districts of Hambantota and Matale. It further says that rainfall is possible in certain locations in other parts of the island, especially during evening or at night. It has been reported that western slopes in the central highlands are receiving rain, ending months of dry weather condition. It is therefore anticipated that depleted water level of reservoirs would be restored, enabling to enhance generation of hydropowered electricity. Our correspondents say that 3 months of dry weather situation has come to an end in Ambalangoda, Batapola and Baddegama areas with the receipt of incessant rainfall today. The Met Department also predicts heavy rainfall of 100 millimeters in certain areas in the provinces of Northern, North Central, Eastern and Sabaragamuwa, as well as in the districts of Kalutara, Gaul and Matara. Thundershowers may also prevail from place to place in the sea areas beyond the coast from Kankasanture to Trincomalee and also to Hambantota via Batiklo. Rainfall is also expected in the evening or night time in other sea areas as well. Winds from the northeastern direction would travel at a speed of 20 to 30 kilometers per hour in the sea areas surrounding the island. The meteorology report adds that the wind speed may increase up to 40 to 45 kilometers per hour from time to time in the sea areas beyond the shores from Trincomalee to Kankasanture and also from Mannar to Chilau. The department informs the general public to minimize the occurrence of accidents that may have taken place due to lightning or provincial strong winds, especially during the times of thunder showers.
And that's all the stories for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow at the very same time. Good night.
Good night.